Were you considered the number one choice to be the Richmond coach at one stage?
No.
Have a listen to this. This is going all the way back to 1999.
I'm still playing in 1999.
That's right. You're still playing. Richmond are searching for a coach. Jared Waitley has just begun working at Channel 10 as a reporter. Have a listen to this.
It's believed Lyon will feature heavily in discussions at a board meeting tonight and will become the Tigers' intense focus should Sheedy re-sign at Windy Hill.
I still played in 1999.
That doesn't mean to say that you weren't talking. Hey, we've just unearthed something. So here you are, you're playing football and you're negotiating to be Richmond's next coach at the same time.
I would have been the first playing coach of another club. So I could play for Melbourne and coach.
So you were approached, though. You must have been approached at that time.
Not as a player.
No. As a coach. You must have been approached by Richmond at some stage to coach them.
Story. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all to me.
This is a great ramble and a great topic. So you were approached by Richmond to coach them while you were still playing at Melbourne.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you must. Jared, well, you're calling Jared a liar now then.
I'm calling Jared a liar.
You are.
No, I'm not.
People know who you are, man.
I don't remember that to be the case. Whilst I was playing football.
You don't remember.
To have
something as big as that. You've been approached by another club while you're still playing to be their coach the next year and you don't remember.
I had heaps of them at that stage. I just pushed them all. So I don't think that.
Give us something.
I need to talk to Jared.
No, you don't need to talk to Jared.
I can't imagine how that would happen, Tim.
Gee whiz, 1999.
I'm still playing. Albeit
that's when I went to coach.
Albeit not very often.
That's when I went to coach St Kilda. So you and I could have been coaching.
Well, I've got some news for you about that as well.
You were in line to take that job
Saints
too.
Approached me for
So you can't. Put your hand on your heart. I don't want you to joke now because I want you to be serious. Were you approached by Richmond? Just approached by them to be their coach?
No, I did have a chat with Richmond about coaching. But
while you were still playing?
I can't. I don't.
No, you were still playing.
That's the story. Why are you asking me if you reckon you know the question? I just gave you the answer. I can't. I don't think while I was playing. I don't think so. No. In fact, I'll be certain not.
Did they approach you while you were doing your warm-ups at Melbourne training?
I would love to have coached against you.
Everyone did.
Whispers!
Just quickly, can we just revisit the Richmond approach back in 1999?
Yeah.
Because I think I know what happened.
Okay.
Because I just listened to the rest of the story from 1999
what happened?
that Jared delivered on Channel 10. The Tigers weren't prepared to take a punt. This is what he said, okay?
While he might have preferred a year on the sidelines or even a year as an assistant coach, there's so many jobs that if you don't take your chances now, you might be waiting 3 or 4 years to get another crack at it. And of course, the Richmond board, they will look at Garry Lyon, but only if Kevin Sheedy comes off the scene. So they will make a full bid for Sheedy and that will be ratified tonight.
Is that how you recall it?
Probably. Tokyo 2020 CEO Toshiro Muto.
Why won't you talk about it?
Well,
it happened 20 years ago.
I'm happy to talk about it. I said to you, I don't believe that I didn't get any approach from Richmond while I was playing footy. No.
I stand by my story and I will never reveal my sources. I can't actually for the life of me remember my sources, but I'm sure they were impeccable at the time.
That is a story that you reported on back in 1999.
It was my first year at Channel 10.
Was it?
So
all I remember is walking out the front door and there's Jared. I could drive out my car. There he is in the driveway.
So I listened to you this morning. My whole journalistic career stems from the credibility of these stories in year one. If you are going to, with a straight face, sit there and deny these things, Garry, that might be the end of me.
Well, you didn't get the chance to fire your questions at him back then. So what other questions you've been sitting on for 22 years?
Has your management received an approach from the Richmond board to contemplate being a coach first year out of the game?
Well, I was still playing. I would have been the first playing coach of another team.
That's your straw man argument. We all knew you were retiring. Your management had seeded the outside world because there were multiple coaching jobs up for grabs at that stage. And I remember my early days, there were 3 figures Dermot Brereton, Jared Healy, Garry Lyon, and it was the white whale.
Yep.
Could you land one of these three? And yes, you were still playing, which was apropos of nothing, Garry.
Can we?
Actually, I'll
Would
take it
you?
back. I wasn't really playing. I was turning up at that stage.
Can we double team Garry here? Because did you ever sit down and have a conversation with anybody from the Richmond Football Club?
Jared sound like Garry off the AFL squadron.
Yes, there's a little bit of that.
Early
Let's
in the
not
p-
focus on that. It's all about the
No,
content.
you've developed a lot of timbre about your voice over the years. Did you ever sit down?
I did have a brief discussion.
With who?
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Well, I have to
That was
answer.
22 years ago.
That's Leon Daphne.
Leon Daphne.
Leon Daphne.
I
He was the
named
boss
Leon
of.
Daphne.
Did you? Well, you were spot on.
On the money. Your
Was he your
credibility-
source?
Credibility's back.
It could have been.
I did. This person said I chose the squadron over the Tigers.
So they were
start.
chips in on Sheedy.
Yes.
And think about the
I
time.
think
This was
they thought they had him at that
1999,
stage,
yeah.
yeah.
And what happens in 2000? So they were chips in on Sheedy, and for a while they thought they could land him. And then you were there back up at that stage. And then once it wasn't Sheedy, they were all in on getting you.
Jeez.
It ended up being Spud. Now, the reason I know I had a good source, because I broke that story, that it was thought it was going to be Tony Elshaw, and it ended up Danny Frawley.
Right.
And I got that story. So I know my source on the board at Richmond was spot on.
Is that person on the board still
I
there?
don't think so.
And look
Probably
at
should
you.
have stayed in touch
Well,
with
I think you
everyone,
missed
shouldn't
the big story around that time because I think Garry had other suitors as well.
Oh, yeah, of course I did. Jared, and now look at him.
Other big suitors.
On the back of that, he's just now he's taken over the world.